Hey, welcome back to the Car Connection Workshop. We're working today on the 2009 Hyundai Accent 1.6 double overhead cams. This is actually, you know what? This thing runs really, really good. It's one owner, bought brand new. If you don't abuse it, the thing is really, really good. So it all comes down to maintenance. Mileage doesn't matter. It's maintenance that matters. You don't want to do maintenance. You're going to buy cars the rest of your life. That's it. Surrender to the fact, trading time for money, home to work, because mileage does not matter. How long you keep it does not matter. But what matters is if you're not good at maintenance, buying the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one, it's all about as they get older, stuff wears out, and that's what we're dealing with here. Is we have 76,000 K. We've got an Higo fault code, and I've cleared it, and it's come back. And because we have one of these little fellers here, this one is still working, but we're going to change it anyways because it's easy to get at, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But also, it's the same age, and I found a really good deal on them online. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just applying some transmission oil down around the threads. And yeah, it's going to smoke when I'm done, and I don't care. Smoking's bad for you. I'll make sure I mention that. Smoking's bad for you. But put a little transmission oil on there, and then we're going to hog that one out. But I'll show you the new one right now, and then we're going to change both of them. Only reason being is one is bad. They're both the same age, and I got a super deal on the interwebs. I got two. They're both the same. They're both exactly the same. They're Higos. Heated exhaust gas organizer, and how we know that is it has 4 wires. It has 4 wires. There's a black and a white and a gray, and there's 2 more wires on that side. Same. So that's how you know. There's 4 pins in the plug, and the plug is square, and all 4 pins are being used. It's not just an oxygen sensor. It's a heated exhaust gas organizer. That's the real term for it. It is an oxygen sensor, correct, but it's a Higo. Heated exhaust gas organizer. And yes, I already read this document, and they even give you a little bit of juice to go in the plug. Okay, and don't throw that away. You want to apply this into the plug, and we'll show you how to do that. And always, fellas, read the instructions, because you'll pick up a couple of tidbits. And I know you will, because I already read and had the other box open already. So I got a pair of these for $68. Yeah, over $260 each from the dealer. And again, manufacturers don't make this component for this car. Somebody else does. So you have to know that. If you're buying the part from, I'll use it as an example. If I go to Toyota and buy a Toyota oil filter for our FJ Cruiser, Toyota didn't make that oil filter. Somebody made the oil filter for them, paints it with their colors and their logo. That's how vehicles work. They're not manufactured from scratch like the old days. They're assembled. So a lot of the components are made outside by vendors. And that's just the way it is these days. The days are gone where the vehicle was completely manufactured by the manufacturer. So we got really nice heated exhaust gas organizer, and I got, like I said, I got a pair of them for 60 some odd bucks with tax, free delivery, and you can't beat that. And it matches perfectly. Isn't that something? Fantastic. So that's the reason why I went for the 2-pack, because we might as well change them both out. They're both the same age, on the same engine, but it's the one down underneath that is the one that's it should be reading, you'll have to watch the video, because we did record that video showing you diagnosing it with the OTC scan tool and watching the voltage drop out from 0.455 to 0.60 millivolts. So, and it would start off pretty much right at the tail end of the voltage at 0.455, and it would sit there as the vehicle's warming up. And what I should see is And what you want to see, you'll have to watch that video because I show you how to diag it properly with a scan tool and know what the readings are telling you. Not what your neighbor or coworker tells you. Oh yeah, it needs a gas cap and an oxygen sensor. Of course it does. And I go, cha-ching, because I'm invested in fuel caps and oxygen sensors. So go ahead. Yeah, it needs a cap and an oxygen sensor. Skippy?
What does that do?
Can you say that louder so people can hear you?
What does that do?
They don't see your voice. They just hear it, just so you know. Yeah, what does it do? It's basically, it's a nose. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a nose. See how it has all these holes and a big hole in the end? It's sniffing the exhaust, converting it to a voltage signal up the line, and then now we're plugged into the computer. So it's reading that the lower oxygen sensor is reading 0.455. The spec is 0.455 to 0.60. So it's sniffing, and then all of a sudden, it needs some nasal mist. And it can't sniff, and it's not sniffing properly, and it dropped down to 0.225. So that's out of spec, and that's when the service light came on. So that's what it does. It sniffs the exhaust, takes a reading, tells the computer the COs and the NOx emissions. NOx is the big one that everybody's all up in arms about. And just so you know, CO2s cannot affect climate change. And you can check that with Nobel Peace Prize winners from Poland. I have an article on that on my desk, and I'm going to share that on my podcast. But see, it's NOx emissions we want to knock out. That's nitrates of oxygen, unburnt fuel. That's all that means. NOx, NOx emissions, unburnt fuel. So it's sniffing for parts per million of unburnt fuel and CO2s and relaying that back to the ECM through the plug by a millivolt signal. So very low voltage signal. So if the voltage signal drops out, like it dropped from 0.455 down to 0.225, it's sniffing, but it's not sending the correct signal. So the computer goes, something's not quite right. I smell a rat fink. And so it's going to trigger the light. So we're going to change this one out. We'll do this one first. Don't drop this thing on the floor when you're changing them out, guys. And you want to put some anti-seize on the threads as well. So we're going to do that. I think that's what they give you here is, I think it's a little bit of anti-seize. That's exactly what it is. It is definitely anti-seize. Man, it's so thin. I don't think you... Could you have given less anti-seize with that? Do you think it's not even worth it on the plastic? My goodness, that's too good to be true. Come on, man. Well, I guess you can't complain when you get 2 for $68, but that is not going to cut it for this guy. So we're going to put some real anti-seize on there. I would at least give you a blob if I was packaging that. It's not even worth the wrapper. So we want to make sure you get some anti-seize on here and not on the end. Don't be plugging up the hole, okay? Because you can't get any Dristan or anything in there to clear it. So we just make sure we got some on there. That's more better. At least I can see it. I couldn't even see it. I mean, it's like butter on popcorn. Could you please put some on there? Like some? Eyedropper. No. A bucket full. How many like dry popcorn? I don't. All right, so we have a socket for that. I'm not sure which one it is, but we will figure it out here in a minute. I think it's this one here. These are oxygen sensor sockets. So what I generally do is just test it on the old one first and see which one's going to fit. And I think it's this one. And I would be good in saying that is it. So that's how you get it in there. Be careful of your harness. Okay? Don't be twizzling the harness around the socket. So be careful. This is also another one you can use. but it's probably not this one. I don't believe so. No, it's not deep enough. So we need the deeper one. So it's a shallow. I like this style here. This is a little tricky getting your cable in there, but you want to make sure you don't break the new one going in, and you want to make sure you can get the other one out. Now, if you want to be really fancy, you could cut the harness off, but I don't recommend it, just in case you run into trouble and you have to put the other oxygen sensor back in for whatever reason. We don't know, but you're better off not to abuse that, because if you got to reuse it, you better be in a position that you can reuse it. So I'm just going to select my weapon here. I don't know how tight it's going to be, so let's try go with this and this. I don't pull them out with the air gun for a specific reason. You need to make sure it's breaking free and you're not snapping it off. I don't put them in with the air gun either. And it's tight, folks. Very. So that's what I kind of wondered. So we have to go to a multiple stage removal system and get a little ornery. Oh, we can go this size. We'll go this size with a 1/2 inch 3/8 adapter, and we'll go heavy duty. And we'll need probably an 8-inch extension. Yeah, probably gonna be, let me see if I can get it. Shorter is better if you can. Closer you get to the work spot. So we're going to need that to go on here. And then that's going to go on there, and I think that's going to work just great. That's going to give us enough hardware to get in there. And we need some lightage. Lights! There it is. And let's see if we can crack that free. I don't think I'm getting it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm getting it or not. So let's put a little PB blaster in there. Just give that a few minutes to soak in. And we'll take a little break and we'll come back, and I'll get onto the one underneath in the interim and start working on getting some lube around that as well. So we can get in there with a screwdriver and just kind of try and get some of the crud out from around the head of the oxygen sensor. Get as much off as you can.